Hi, thank you for joining this little mini class on the top 5 lifestyle habits that you can do to minimize your suffering this allergy season. And I'm Natalie Balbazada. I'm the co-founder of Artemis Therapeutics, and I'm also an acupuncturist and herbalist in the San Francisco Bay Area. I've been practicing for 20 years now and live my life in holistic health and natural healing modalities. And I'm also a person who has lived a life suffering from allergies. Although I will say that I used to be allergic to cats and horribly allergic to cats, and I no longer am. And that my overall symptoms without medication, with herbs, but without medication have reduced by, I would say, 80% from what they used to be. The amount of congestion, suffering, all that stuff. I do come from a family of doctors and a family where allergies, eczema, and asthma come from both sides. So I'm very familiar and I've been dealing with it for a long time. And if you're here watching this mini class with me, then you probably know that allergies they're not curable. People who don't have them, they don't understand how much suffering it actually is, because it's not for the most part, 90%, it's not a mortality disease. It's incurable. People are tired of trying to figure it out. There's not really a solution. And so what I'm talking about here, it's not medication, it's not treatments, it's all lifestyle stuff that you can do. And I decided to break it up into sort of two parts. So the first part is going to be the top 5 recommendations that I have that are going to make the biggest difference for you. They're going to seem really simple. They might be obvious to some of you, especially if you already really know how to take care of yourself. But they each have a lot of depth to them. So like a yoga asana, you can go into each one. The second part of this class that I want to talk about is the 5 systems or organ systems or body mechanisms at play that have the biggest impact on allergies. And I want to talk about that. It's kind of from a Chinese medical perspective, my own personal and clinical experience, and it's not talked about in conventional medicine or on the internet too much. And I thought it would be really helpful to share this with you so that you can better learn about your own body and look at your own life, what's going on, and what's going to be the most leveraged, what can help you the most minimize symptoms and reduce whatever amount of medication that you have to take. Okay, so my top 5 are they're not in a particular order. This class is really mostly about you finding what's going to make the difference for you. Where is the imbalance in your life, if there is one? And making that small adjustment should have a big impact on your health. And so the first one, really obvious, is get enough sleep. And that includes rest, it includes downtime, time to yourself. We're so busy in life, we have so much on our plate, and that's energetically, that is a form of allergies. It's just like everything's all stuffed up and filled out to the max. And so if there's just too much going on, this could be something to start to think about, to simplify life, simplify your space, your environment. And I know this one, I'm giving you the depth right off the top, but really looking at your space, your environment, clutter, too many appointments, too many things, too many obligations or responsibilities, too many social commitments. This can just cause a fullness in our body. And this one I called it enough sleep. So at the most basic level, if you're not getting at least 8 hours of sleep at night, and downtime around that means not time on the screen, some rest time, then that's going to make a big difference. When we sleep, our bodies regenerate, the blood cleanses through the liver and through the kidneys. That's when our body builds our immune system and regulates all the other systems of our body, the nervous system, our hormonal system, the adrenal system. And so just checking in with yourself. If you're not getting enough sleep, is that going to be the one that is going to make a difference to you? Okay, the second one does have to do with liver health. So I was gonna call this one, this one, it could be reducing alcohol intake, it could be stress levels, it could be a gallbladder cleanse, a liver flush and a cleanse, like a Dr. Hilda Clark cleanse, can really help with allergies. The liver is the organ in our body that regulates hormones and it cleans the blood. So if you think of everything coming into our body, metabolic waste, exposure to irritants, and any little bit of food reactivity, emotions, these kind of things, the liver is what has to handle it all and clean it all. And so it's like a bucket of dirty dishwater. And if the liver isn't clean or isn't being well taken care of, then allergies are going to be worse. And for some people, this category of tending the liver health, has to do with caffeine. For some people, cutting out coffee or caffeine in general will make all the difference in the world to them. And they literally told me that their allergies go away, their sinus pressure goes away. And I'm going to talk about this in the second part too. That has to do with the systems in our body that just pressurize upward the whole vascular system in our head and face and eyes and neck. Okay, so the second one is liver health. The third one is, this should be probably the first one, although they're not in order, but it's to minimize our exposure to allergens, chemical irritants, any irritants, right? Artificial colors and flavorings, smoke, mold, dander if you're allergic to pets. So just minimizing, synthetic fragrances like in detergents, laundry, making sure you use a hypoallergenic laundry detergent, not going down the aisles of the store that has all the chemicals, that's just going in and irritating and agitating. Rolling in the grass, it always surprises me how many people will actually get a cat or an animal when they themselves are allergic or someone in their household is allergic. And I know we have pets. I love pets. I lived with a cat for 10 years. We have dogs. I used to be allergic to horses as well, and I love horses, but this is just really a big deal, something to really think about, because that is just going to agitate your system on a regular basis and be really draining on your entire quality of life and day-to-day living. So if that's going on for you, then maybe you want to focus and think about that. Okay, and the fourth thing is, I'm calling it exercise. I don't really like calling it that, but what I mean by exercise is circulation, fresh air, sunshine for immune system, right? The breathing fresh air and oxygenation, and getting our eyes off the screens and into the natural world. So exercise category for me has to do with harmonizing with the natural world. That means seeing the colors, the greens, the trees, the colors, and the shapes of the natural world, right? The flowers, going for a walk, clearing our bodies, our minds, our energy from the intensity of the day-to-day and all the things that our minds have to track these days. The exercise itself, definitely. If you're not exercising, I recommend it. It always depends on your age, how much you need. But a little bit of sweat, a little bit of intensity, getting that heart rate up, that helps the blood, that helps the body detoxify. It moves the lymphatic, through sweat, through the bowels, through circulation, so the blood can clean and clear out the toxins and irritants that might be in bloodstream. And the fifth one is about getting the proper nutritional support that you need. So that means, getting the nutrition from your food that the body needs for the building blocks of the immune system, and that the body needs to clean the blood out as well, right? So leafy greens, stinging nettles, if you have them fresh, you want to eat those. You can steam them, you can put them in salads, you can, if they're steamed. But the chlorophyll, the green plants, they're going to clean the bloodstream and build iron, right? So that you have nice, rich, strong blood that's filled, instead of kind of like dirty waterways. You know, you don't want dirty waterways. I'm talking about the blood, the vascular system. So you do need the nutrition. To get the nutrition, this is a whole nother class that I love to do. I call it the Happy Belly Diet, and it's based in Chinese medicine. It's also very simple, but you know, that means not just like eating or taking a shake, but actually enjoying your food, sitting down to relax, digesting your food, tuning into what it is you actually feel like eating, because that's what also will affect your digestive system, your ability to extract nutrition and turn the food that you eat into blood and skin and hair and ideas and all that stuff that the body has to turn food into, immune system, right? White blood cells. So you want to you know, you want to enjoy your food, sit and relax. That will improve your digestion and assimilation. So that was a lot. I'll just review. So that is, the first one was enough rest or enough sleep, liver health, watching your exposure to chemical irritants or any irritants, allergens, and synthetic fragrances, exercise or circulation, and harmonizing with the natural world, and the nutritional support. Okay, so now I want to talk about, it's kind of like the other side of the same coin. It'll help you understand these better and how the mechanisms all work. I'm going to actually talk about 4 systems that aren't usually talked about. I will start with the immune system. That one is often talked about, right? We're always talking about the immune system when it comes to allergy, COVID, virus, cold season, whatever. And so is your immune system the place that you need to support it the most? That means, are you prone or susceptible to lung infections, bronchial problems, and do you get colds easily? And if you do, what can you do to support the immune system, right? And so sometimes that can be a zinc deficiency. So eating, either supplementing with zinc or eating foods higher in zinc. Definitely has to do with rest, making sure you get enough rest, not taxing your nervous system too much, and eating well, right? It could have to do with supporting your body with medicinal mushrooms like cordyceps or reishi mushroom, turkey tail. The different ones have different attributes to them, and you might consider different ones seasonally. But if it's your immune system, to think of what it is. Vitamin C is one of my favorites. What it is that you need for your immune system. Okay, that one's basic, so I kind of wanted to get it out of the way. The second one that has to do with allergies that we don't usually talk about is the hormonal system. I am more familiar with women. I'll just tell you that, since about 90% of my patients are women for some reason. I do love working with all people, especially women. But what I've noticed is that any hormonal changes, it could be in men too. I have had men come and tell me, oh, I never had allergies all my life, and then I turned 60 and now all of a sudden I have allergies, and they can't understand it. So there's something about hormonal change. It might have to do with, do your allergies get worse at a certain time in your cycle? Are you a little bit blood deficient or iron deficient? Do you have PMS or menstrual imbalances or problems? Are you about to go through menopause? And oh my gosh, I almost forgot. Both of my pregnancies are, hormonal changes that happen during pregnancy. So 20 years ago for me, and then again 12 years ago for me, my allergies just got so horrible. They just blew up, and stinging nettles, freeze-dried stinging nettles, were the thing that saved me. I could take so many, and that's an herb that is traditionally used during pregnancy, for healthy pregnancy, for balanced thyroid, for healthy hair and skin, and nourishing the blood, building blood with chlorophyll and iron. And so these kind of hormonal changes can really affect our allergies for some reason. So if you have a hormonal imbalance that you notice, for men, I have to think about it a minute, but I'm just going to focus on women. you might consider the appropriate hormone balancing herb. Like it might be chaste, it might be dangui. Dangui is angelica in Chinese medicine, and that's one of my favorites for allergies. It might be black cohosh. It might be exercising to help it might be the liver support work that I spoke about earlier, or it might be something with Chinese medicine and getting support from a Chinese herbalist. An herbalist of Chinese medicine to balance the hormones. So the other hormonal component in allergies has to do with adrenal health. So this has to do with your nervous system and how much rest you're getting, if you're overextended, these kind of things that will definitely exacerbate allergy symptoms, as I'm sure you know and have experienced. So if it looks like it would make sense to support your adrenal system, the adrenals are the hormonal glands on the kidneys, just on your back, then you could look into something like that, which basically includes rest and plenty of rest. And so that leads me actually right into the next system that I want to talk about. This is actually the main one that I feel most of us suffer from, and it's not talked about in Western or conventional. And it's got to do with our vascular system, our pressure system, right? Blood pressure, getting flushed in the face, temper, caffeine, being really focused on screens or intense, those of us who are really intense in our work, really focused people. This has to do with the kidneys and the vascular system in the head and the neck and the face. And so if you're using nicotine products, caffeine, any sort of stimulants, if you're always focused on the screen, this means the energy is always pushing upward into if you're prone to like chronic neck tension or headaches or tension in the jaw and the face. This is all the vascular system of the head and face that's getting pressurized if you're prone to high blood pressure, right? And that will definitely exacerbate allergy symptoms, which makes sense if you think about it, right? And so that's why sometimes just laying down, getting horizontal in the middle of the day, in the afternoon, or when you have allergies, to just let everything go back down. A qigong practice, a meditation practice, a breathing practice, stopping caffeine, these kind of things. Just thinking of the energy going back down instead of always being pushed up. We always want to push, at least I do. I love to constantly push the energy up, right? And so that's why the exercise or going for a walk, like I spoke about earlier, is going to make a big difference, because we want to stop pushing everything up and let it all anchor down. Ooh, that makes me feel like, that feels so good just to do that. I think we should do a grounding breathing exercise at the end of this class. Okay, let's see if that makes sense to you. Or if there was something else I wanted to say about that. Probably, but I'll have to come back to it. And let's see, the last one is the digestive system. And so this, what I'm referring to here, I already referred to it again before. This isn't about foods that you're actually allergic to or reacting to, like gluten. Like obviously you want to avoid foods that cause mucus or that you're reacting to. Foods that you're allergic to or that cause inflammation. The most usual culprits are dairy and gluten, maybe nuts or some shellfish. For people, if you're prone to skin reactions like eczema or itching things on the skin, then you definitely want to limit or cut out shellfish, spicy food, chocolate, nuts, greasy food, and alcohol, and mangoes. These are like Chinese medicine basics, but those kind of like add heat to the fire. And so that's another topic. What I'm talking about is with digestion is noticing your blood sugar levels, right? So sometimes if your blood sugar goes too low and you haven't had enough to eat, you might notice that you actually have to eat something and then the congestion will stop. That's what always happens to me. Obviously if you overeat, blood sugar goes too high or you're too stuffed, then that will exacerbate symptoms. So noticing the foods that cause it, sitting and relaxing and enjoying your meals when you eat, not overeating, eating regular meals. So 3 regular meals a day, sitting down and relaxing. And, some people do well with intermittent fasting. If that's you, that's great, but it's not for everyone. So I've had patients who actually gained weight doing that. So like with everything with our health, we need to find what works best for our body and what takes the least toll on our systems, on our bodies. And so Chinese medicine, the basic recommendation is 3 meals a day, relaxed, not overeating. And this gets us on a routine. So you want to evacuate the bowels regularly. Ideally, that would happen with a regular dietary lifestyle. And this will help the digestive enzymes, the digestive hormones like insulin and pancreas excretion. This will help them all stay in a healthy range, blood sugar, and regulate also the vascular system, right, in the head and in the face, and will optimize digestive function and assimilation so that the food that you eat gets extracted and turned into healthy blood cells, healthy organ tissue, clear thinking instead of turning into mucus, or in Chinese medicine it's referred to as dampness. Dampness can come as mucus if you have allergies. If you don't have allergies and you're not digesting optimally, then dampness will turn out to be more like joint pain or inflammation or weight gain, something like that. So I hope that this is helpful for you to better understand your body and how it works and the factors contributing to allergy symptoms and reactions. There's so much more that I could say. I was trying to squeeze it in so that you could get it fast. There are certain emotional and thought patterns that also contribute that I love to share about, which I have in another class. And if you're interested in that, please let me know. And for now, I would say hopefully you found something that you want to do to support your body and your system, your immune health for this allergy season. For me, like, you probably already figured this out, but after you know all this, you've chosen, when worst comes to worst, you just lie down, close your eyes, relax a few minutes, let the body self-regulate, let the breath wash up and down the length of the body so the body can re-regulate itself, anchor down and recover, find its own equilibrium and homeostasis. Maybe you're able to do that just by listening to me saying those words, feeling the difference in your body instantly. I'm able to do that now, thankfully. But that's a really helpful thing that anyone can do anytime for immediate kind of calming down. It's kind of the natural thing we would do anyway. Bye for now, and I wish you and your family a happy and healthy spring and summer season. Till next time.